Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review on a new show. It's on. Don't pay attention to this hat. Don't ask me why I'm wearing it this way. Just don't pay attention to it. But I am here to review a new show on Netflix. You may have heard of this person before. Um, Mauricio, what's his last name? Umansky? Is that how you pronounce it? Anyways, Mauricio, his wife, Cal, is on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Mauricio has a new show called Buying Beverly Hills. Again, it's on Netflix. I've only watched the first episode based off of, the trailer. It looks like it's going to be a pretty decent show. I'm not gonna lie. I went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to review this show. I mean, not that I'm doing Mauricio a favor or anybody else on this show a favor, but I was still kind of in my feelings about how Mauricio sat there and laughed about Erica Jane Girardi, EJ Global LLC, when she cursed out Jax, and when him and his wife and PK and Dorette sat there and giggled about it like it was funny. Now I'm gonna leave it alone because I've chosen to review this show and I can't bring it up every episode. But all I'm gonna say is this before I move on: if somebody had cussed out little Portia like that, or little Alexia, what's her name? Alexia, girl, his heart, Mauricio would not have it. But I'm gonna leave it alone though, with his fine self. Hey, Mauricio, if you ever see this review and I come to Beverly Hills, can you just give me a hug and we can take a picture? Yes. Besides that, Mauricio is fine to me. Yeah, Mauricio is fine to me. Anyways, let's get into it. So we have Mauricio. He has a real estate company called The Agency. From what they said, it's 40 offices worldwide. Girl, that's a lot. Girl, I think Mauricio and them got money, huh? Anyways, his two daughters, I think he has four daughters total. Farrah and Alexia, they work at the agency. Alexia, I think, is 25. Farrah is 32. Farrah is from a previous relationship of Cal's. Cal, I think, was married prior. Cal started getting married when she was like 15, girl. Not really, but girl. So I think Cal was married before, and Farrah, was a product of that, excuse me, of that relationship. But he's been in Farrah's life, I think, since she was like 4 or 5. So, I mean, he's pretty much her father, or a second father to her, and she's, he said that he doesn't look at her like a stepdaughter. He looks at her like a daughter. I mean, girl, he's been in her life since she was 5, so I wouldn't expect anything less than that. So they're basically selling their family house. Remember, well, some of you probably don't know, but basically, it's gonna be hard for me not to bring in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because of Mauricio and his ties to Real Housewives, of Beverly Hills. But one of the castmates, Sutton, she rented their house out while she was while she was finishing her home. So come to find out, Sutton and also Larsa Pippen have lived there before. Mauricio tells us about, how the agency, became, how the agency happened. I think he said he had a job in the clothing business, and I think he got fired. And he didn't know what he was going to do. And so him and Cal said that they should go get their real estate license. So I think they both got their licenses. So anyways, that's how the agency kind of got started. Now, I mean, girl, quiet as it's kept from what I understand, girl. And girl, I got to be a little messy. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. For the girls who don't know, girl, I just started watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, really, like, as far as like watching the seasons, the full season, season 10. Now, from what I've seen on online, some of the kids done said that I think Mauricio, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not trying to be on her line, okay? Mauricio, I think, worked for the Hiltons. Not worked for, but I think he, girl, however you want to word it, an employee worked for, I don't know, for Kathy's husband, right? Tell me the story in the comment section. And I guess I think Mauricio ended up leaving, and I think some of the employees came with Mauricio. It was something real like, girl, you could see how the girl how they probably have a little bit of tension between the Umansky and the Hilton family. Anyways, so Alexia wants to list the property because again, they're selling their family home. We can just go ahead and get Alexia out the way. I don't want to sound like an asshole. I really don't. A part of me feels like based off of this first episode, I could be wrong. I feel like Alexia should be the secretary. No tea, no shade. Cause I feel like Alexia is going to, use nepotism to her advantage. I mean, I guess I can't blame her, right? But I feel like because her father is the boss, that she probably feels like she doesn't have to put in the work that the other agents put in. Probably because does she even want to really do real estate, or is that something she's doing just to please her father? I don't know. But later in the episode, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll talk about it. I just feel as though Alexia is probably using the fact that her father is the boss. She's probably taking that for granted because, girl, some of the stuff that happened in this episode shouldn't have happened. We'll talk. All right, let's move along. So Alexia wants to list the property, their family home. She feels as though she's ready. She's going to do a mock presentation for Farrah and Mauricio. I like Farrah. Alexia cool too. So there's a house. Is it Wallace Ridge? When I tell you, baby, that house is bad as hell. I think the house I said was $65 million. Girl. So come to find out, the agency has. I think they've sold about $10 billion worth of real estate. That's a lot. And they've grossed over $200 million in commission. That's a lot, girl. So the girls is eating real good over there at the agency, okay? Joey. There's a character on the show named Joey. There's another character named Ben. Joey thinks Ben is an idiot. You could tell Ben ain't that cute at all. But you could tell that Ben thinks he's like the hot white guy. It'd be average white guys who really think like they're the hot, like they're like, girl, Chris Evans or Thor. Girl, you are not Thor, Ben. Okay. What's Thor's name? Thor. The one who be throwing the thing on the Avengers. That fine ass white boy. Now that nigga is fine. What's his name? What's that white boy name? I ain't even got my my iPad right here. Okay, we gotta find out his name. Cause now that right there, okay, is a fine ass man. Hold up. Thor, come on. Chris Evans is Captain America, right? Thor, come on. Chris Hemsworth. Ooh. Let me look at him. Ooh. Yes. That's how Ben think he look. Ben, you don't look like Thor. I'm ready to tell you right now. Quiet as this kept on. No, I ain't seen nobody on the show that look like Thor. Okay, so all y'all can hang it up flat screen. Okay. Um. So it sounds like there's a little, just a little, miscommunication. I think introduced. Farrah met someone at the gym. She introduced, I guess she was the connection with the house that Mauricio sold. So Mauricio sold a house and wasn't even really in communication with Farrah. So did he steal her sale, or was he just not communicating with her about something that she played a major role in? Because it sounds like, again, Farrah met this person at the gym, or whoever knew the person, and that's how they got the listing. But he didn't even really communicate with Farrah. So Allie, it's a white girl. Everybody white. It's one black person, so we can go ahead and get that out the way. Okay. Allie, she's pregnant. I was like, this cannot be her first pregnancy. First of all, girl, I would expect anybody first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth pregnancy, girl. You're carrying a whole human being, But I was just like, the way she was acting, I was like, girl, this cannot be her first time being pregnant. Because she was just kind of like, oh, child, just like walking around like she wasn't pregnant. Some people, I'm not saying that some people are dramatic, but some people, again, you're carrying a human being. Some people can be very, a little over the top, and Allie was just like, what's up? And I'm like, girl, this gotta be her, like, third or fourth pregnancy. Come to find out, this is her third pregnancy. Well, I ain't gonna say it's her third pregnancy, girl. This is gonna be her third time birthing a child, because I don't know how many times she's been pregnant. That ain't none of my business. So I think Alexia is going to be taking over one of her listings, because Allie is about to have a baby. So she's going to be gone, I guess, for, 6-8 weeks, however long she's going to be gone. So I guess Alexia is going to step in to, take over her listings while she's out on maternity leave. So I've watched, one of my favorite shows is like Millionaire Listing, New York, Millionaire Listing, Los Angeles, and they don't like when, like, the seller is at the home, because a lot of people, they have these emotional connections to their home, and they don't really want to hear what people have to say, and it becomes a mess. They may get offended. So the girl who was selling the home, I think she used to date Ryan Seacrest. She was at the house while they were selling the home, while Alexia was showing a potential buyer the home. And long story short, Alexia didn't know shit. This is what I have to say. Let me try to break this down as simple as possible. It sounds like, I don't know about everybody, but it sounds like some of these people at the agency are selling multi-million dollar homes. So in my head, I would think, because you are selling these multi-million dollar homes, that the people that are buying these homes are going to have a lot of questions. Like, I feel as though, because one, you're making a good commission off of these homes, that you should know. And here I go thinking I'm a real estate agent now, because I done watched a couple of episodes of House Hunters or HGTV, some shows on HGTV. Now, Millionaire Listing, girl, now I think I'm a real estate agent and know everything. But girl, I would assume that you would know everything from the flooring to the cabinetry to, girl, the marble, and the price. Like, why is this girl having to ask Alexia basically how much is it per square foot? Why don't you know what type of marble this is? Girl, you should know the flooring. You should know the cabinetry. Girl, you should know that house inside and out. It's like, you're not going to receive, I don't want to sound offensive, but you're not going to receive the same service that if you go to Forever 21. You probably not gonna receive the same customer service that your ass just received at Saks. They're not gonna walk you out to your car. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna refer to you as yes ma'am, yes sir. They're gonna half-ass look to see if they got a size, right? Because you have Forever 21. You ain't at sex. So all I'm saying is, girl, it's not like, you're selling this starter home for 200,000 and you just kind of like, okay, girl, this is the cabinet, this is I don't know. I just feel like it's a little different when you're dealing with when you start getting in a certain, bracket when selling these homes. I just feel like Alexia did a piss poor job. Which again kind of backs me up. I mean, I feel like it backs up what I was saying earlier about like Alexia, girl. I feel like you just know that, okay, girl, this is my father. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna know I'll know what I know. But I mean, girl, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, girl, you were a hot ass mess. And even if the seller was there, for you to be I would think a junior, what is her title? A junior, what is it? Because I think Farrah is a senior, I'm just going to make up a title, senior seller. I forgot, but I saw Farrah was like a senior real estate agent, I guess. And I think Alexia is like a junior real estate. So you're right underneath Farrah. How are you right underneath Farrah, girl, and you choking just because the seller is right there? You don't know shit about this house. Girl, it was a mess. You're not listening to the buyer. You mentioned in kindergarten, pre-K, girl, all the grades that she didn't mention. Girl, Alexia was a mess. Sorry. Brandon, there's a black guy on the show named Brandon. He used to live in Arizona. Well, he's from Arizona, I believe. And he moved to LA. I think he's a dancer, but right now, did he go into why he's no longer dancing? Maybe he still is dancing. I don't know. I ain't gonna go into that, girl. He the black person on the show. I mean, girl, y'all can take that for what how y'all want to say. He the black person. Okay. Being Alexia, I guess they had something going on. Maybe they tried to have something. I don't know. It was kind of like all over the place. I don't know if Alexia didn't want to say, but then when she was in the confessional with Farrah, she was just kind of like, like if something happened. So I don't know if something like sexual happened. I don't think she ever really said. So I don't know if something sexual happened or if they just kissed and the kiss was awkward and they realized that they would just be better off as friends. But there was something there with Ben and Alexia at one point. Alexia lives at home. I think it's actually cute. Alexia's 25. Of course she could. Of course. I mean, look at who her parents are. I mean, she also has a job. But Alexia could move out if she wanted to. But I think it's very, very cute that Alexia is 25 and she doesn't want to move out. And also, I think it's so cute that Mauricio and Cal, they don't want her to move out either. Farrah said even when she mentions Alexia moving out, they get really mad because it's kind of like, no, she's not moving out. I think that's so cute. I was about to say something. I'm gonna let it go. That's not I'm gonna let it go. Y'all know that I was thinking in my head because if that was somebody else, girl, they would have kicked our asses out at 18. Let me shut up. Alexis. So Alexis, she does the pitch for the home. She really doesn't know the area. She went all the way back to like 2018 or 19. Now, I don't know when this show was shot. I don't know if this show was shot in 2020 or 2019. I don't know. But she basically used an example, I guess, of a house being sold like in 2019. And Farrah was like, girl, a house was just sold. I think Mauricio brought it up. Like a house was just sold by the agency like last week or like last month, something like that. It was recent from the time. It was more recent than the time that she gave them. Farrah is not sold that Alexia is ready to basically list the home. Okay, so this is what I think. I see Farrah's point, right? Because to me, Alexia is not ready to sell this home. Girl, because she was also going off of the information that Allie told her about Alexia basically being a hot ass mess with her listing. And then based off of what she saw from Alexia at, the little mock presentation, she came to the conclusion that, girl, Alexia may not be ready to list the family home. However, and when she mentioned to Mauricio, girl, you could tell Mauricio got pissed. Alexia is his heart girl. So don't you say nothing about Alexia, child. So she mentioned it to Mauricio. You could tell Mauricio was bothered by Alexia even bringing that up. Mauricio made a good point. Girl, I'm the client. So, what the fuck you think gonna happen? Kind of, he didn't say what the fuck you think gonna happen, but basically, I'm the client. This will be good experience for her. It's not like I'm sending her out there and I'm allowing her to list this listing for a real client. Girl, I'm the client, right? And he's probably going to help her even when it comes to the communication that she may have with the, buyer. I'm sure Mauricio will be there to kind of help her. But if Mauricio is busy, because Mauricio looked like he always on the phone taking phone calls. If Mauricio is busy, then Alexia, and if Alexia screws up whatever communication that she has with the potential buyer, it could fuck up the whole sale, right? Which could kind of then go back to Farrah saying, I told y'all she wasn't ready. But, if this will be a good chance for Alexia to get a little bit of experience with a listing that expensive, right? Because I don't think she's ever done a listing that expensive. I think that listing was gonna be $3.5 million. It was a lot. It wasn't no starter home, okay? Well, it might be a starter home for some of the rich girls in LA, but if she was to mess up, it wouldn't be a big deal because it's kind of like, girl, it's a family home, it's Mauricio. So even if she messed up in communication and it didn't go and the sale went south, it wouldn't, I guess, necessarily be that big of a deal. I mean, the other people could look at it like, girl, it's a real estate, it's an agent at the agency, Alexia. She's a hot ass mess. I don't know. I'm looking at it from both sides. Farrah is right. I feel like Mauricio is right too. She needs the experience. Why just not let her have the experience with us? It's a family home. If something goes wrong, we're going to be there. Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to read the paperwork. I'm going to look over everything. But then it's also like, I know I'm all over the place, but then it's also like, this is how it works, y'all. Like, you have Alexia who, if she sells this home, now that will be attached to her name. Like, Alexia Umansky sold I think the house is $3.5 million. I could be wrong on the price, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say $3.5 million. But it'll be like Alexia Umansky. I'm messing up that girl's last name. Sold a $3.5 million home, right, girl? So it'll look like, girl, we have these young agents selling a $3.5 million house, but girl, it's really the family house. But girl, ain't nobody really, unless the word gets around. I don't know, girl. It is what it is, girl. Alexia, girl. I mean, what's the point of coming from a family that has power, access, wealth, and resources, bitch, if you can't use it? I'm all down for nepotism if y'all ain't know, okay? It is what it is. All right. I'm gone. That's it. I'll probably be back in a couple of days with episode 2. Probably tomorrow. I'll probably be back tomorrow with episode 2. I'll wait 24 hours. I'll let this be up for 24 hours before I come back with episode 2. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Was that it? Yeah, that was it. All right. Bye, y'all.